Hey guys, what is up? It is Eric here.
Edric here.
And Edrin.
Today we're going to be talking about The Last of Us Part 2 video game, talking about the gameplay and the actual experience with the characters, along with how we feel like the actual game is, like what should have happened in the game, and like the likes and dislikes for the actual game.
Yes.
So let's first talk about the characters. So some of the characters we see are continued from Part 1. Last of Us Part 1, they set up initial character-based storyline with their own moods and emotions and their backstories, and then Part 2 we also get some new characters along with Ellie.
The original ones. Joel,
Yeah,
Ellie,
Ellie and Joel. Yes.
And a brand new story.
Yes. So
Okay,
guys.
first I want to talk about Abby.
Yes.
In the beginning, Abby's like it's just a woman searching for something, right?
Yes.
And then as we play the game, we find out that Abby is actually searching for Joel, who later we find out is the killer of her father.
Yes.
So as a result, she kills Joel.
Yes. And so we
that
find
was
out.
very gruesome.
Yes, but we found out the actual reason as we played along. I think that was something that I liked, which they didn't reveal in the beginning of the game. And as we played, as we understood Abby a little more, I think we started to understand why she actually did it and the reason. I think it matched perfectly.
It helped us connect to, as you say, it helped us connect to the reason of why Abby killed Joel.
Yes.
And sometimes maybe doubt that Joel should have died, but Joel is just too big to.
Yes, we get hints from both sides of the argument, good and bad.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that we really liked. And I also want to talk about another character. We have Ellie.
Yes.
So Ellie in this game is a little older from the previous, and she after Joel's death, right? She is on a quest to find Abby. And like during the quest, right? So Tommy is like assisting her, but Tommy is like already gone and like
a little ahead of her.
And so like she's deciding whether to save Tommy or go for Abby.
They take revenge.
And so I think a character trait that they showed for Ellie is something like she's more obsessive over her own revenge for against Abby for Joel, rather than Tommy who has to be saved since Tommy is like a family member.
Yes.
And I think that's something that was really looked upon in Last of Us Part 2, and I think I really like that.
Yes, and I like to say like the death of Joel in the game was pretty sad to see, since in Part 1 they showed many events or the gameplay and everything and how the people played as Joel. They showed him like he was capable to do anything.
Yes,
and it kind of helped us build a great pride about Joel and everything.
Yeah, that was a very good progression of his character.
Yeah.
But then in part 2 they just end his life right there, and it's kind of sad. But it didn't like to morally take us down. We still got to we were still encouraged to play the game, and it's pretty good.
And like he said before, Ellie goes on a quest after she gets old, and she does that by questioning Abby's friends, right? And then we have two of her friends, Owen and Mel. Owen and Mel, they're like in a relationship, right? And then Ellie finds out that Mel is pregnant after she kills her accidentally, right?
So what happens? Yeah, Ellie is on a quest for Abby, and she's trying to find answers from Mel and Owen. And I think and then there's an accident, and then Mel dies, Owen dies, and then that's when the twist happens at the end of the game.
Yes. Yeah, and that's also the part where Tommy comes in with Jesse, who is another character in the game.
Yes. And so guys, now we're gonna be talking about the actual experience that we had with the gameplay of this of the entire game actually.
Yeah.
So I think we should not exclude Part 1, how we felt with Part 1, because there's a whole different accessibility for Part 2.
Yeah.
And so first thing I want to talk about is playing as Ellie from the beginning. As we play Ellie, we also get hints, we get flashbacks. We get to play flashbacks with Ellie and Joel. Even after Joel dies in present time, we get flashbacks going back a few years, and I think that was something really good to experience.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, something that we missed in Part 1. Something that really brought us back to the original game, and I think that was really good.
Yes, yeah. I'd also like to say that the POVs of different characters in Part 2 is pretty interesting, and it's better than Part 1.
Yeah.
We got to play as Abby, we got to play as Joel, we got to play as Ellie. Yeah, and then I think that's a good point.
It was a great thing to show from different perspectives. which we missed out in part 1.
In part 1 we get to see like the surgeon, a male surgeon, doing surgery on Ellie. That male surgeon is actually Abby's dad.
Yes.
And then that would, like I said before, that would be the reason why Abby goes on a rampage.
Yes, but we don't find that out in the actual gameplay from part 1.
Yes,
we find out in part 2.
When we heard of this, or saw it in part 2, it was kind of a big twist, and we were actually
very
surprised.
Yes, as the story went along, I asked him like, "Oh, so this is what happened?"
Yeah.
And then that's who that was.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
Yeah, we were like that. Now that makes sense. And then as we played more along with Abby, I think we learned about more of her emotional side and how in the beginning of the game, Abby is shown as a very aggressive person, but as we play her, we see her emotional side and friendship towards her family and her friends.
Yeah.
And I think
we get to understand why she did the things that she did.
Yes. And so also I want to talk about is the action and action of the game, which we play along with we fight against the infected. We have characters like the infected. We have the scars, which are the Seraphites, and we have hunters. We have what do we have? We have different forms of infected.
Yeah.
Different forms. There's a lot of enemies and opponents to go up against, and I think that's something that was really great for the game.
We got runners, we got clickers, we got shamblers, we got
and then
stalkers,
a new 2 new infected that we got to experience.
Yes,
with
part 2
is shambler and stalkers.
Yeah, I think they were a great addition to the infected group. I think it really advanced
categories.
It was a really advanced category, and I think that really helped make the game more intense. I believe.
Yeah. And the stalkers, stalker type of infected, they're a little more smarter than the other infected.
Yeah, so that was a little tricky.
Yes.
There were some moments where we just, and then we can rage quit the game, and then I think that was a really good addition.
Yeah. So this is our discussion of The Last of Us Part 2.
Gameplay, character analysis, and everything.
Yes. And so if you guys want to check out more of our videos, you can go to Cinema Brothers, which is our official one.
Yes.
But this one will actually be going on our individual channels. Yes. So
my channel features the bloopers and behind the scenes for the review of The Last of Us Part 1 game versus series.
Yes, and mine will be Eric Mahat Cinema Brothers, which will be releasing there is one other gameplay that I have of Rocket League, and there is a behind the scenes, and so this The Last of Us Part 2 highlights will be releasing on my channel, so you guys can check that out if you want.
Yes, and I have a channel named Edrin Mahad Cinema Brothers with parentheses, and this video will be in my channel.
Yes.
And I also have a Rocket League edit that I made, so you should also check that out.
And so guys, before we leave, don't forget to subscribe to each of our channels.
Yes.
And so stay tuned for more of our topics that we're releasing about
updates.
Updates with video games and behind the scenes,
even game edits.
Yes, game edits as well. So
this is the bros
signing off.